So ExDefiant just revealed their patch 3.0 season 3, and it's going to be bringing a lot of content. Actually, just about 5 seasons worth of content, 3 through 8, which is just kind of crazy to think. Like, they're just going like, hey, you're shutting us down. Well, here's everything we were working on. And the season is going to be Assassin's Creed themed, which would be something, if you're a Ubisoft fan, would be something you would absolutely go crazy for. And actually the maps that are in this are actually like really well done and kind of cool. Like I remember like just looking through this trailer that they put together for season 3. It's like a 13-minute long kind of deep dive into everything that goes in with the game. And I was like, this actually looks kind of fun. And I'm just kind of sad to see a game like ExDefiant get taken away from us. But you know, we'll dive into what's going to be a part of this season, what's going to be happening with ExDefiant moving towards its end date in June of 2025. And we're also going to be talking about what the head of ExDefiant, Mark Rubin, talked about as well on Twitter when it comes to the season, what's going to be happening moving forward. But also a little bit of a conspiracy theory, a little bit behind ExDefiant and why it was actually shut down. Because apparently, at some point, ExDefiant had a higher player count than Rainbow Six Siege, which is crazy to think about. So why would this get shut down? Well, there's a little bit of a theory behind that. We'll talk about that in this video. So if you like these type of videos, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and let's get right into all those details. So within the trailer here to talk about what you can do at Season 3's launch. They haven't given us a release date yet, but they talk about the new mode Tactical, which is a beta playlist of just essentially your typical attack defense modes right here. They talk about how they bring in a new map that's specifically designed for the mode as well, which is cool. But I mean, it's like, why are you releasing the beta when the game's basically confirmed dead at this point? And there's a lot of like interesting additions that they threw in here as well. I think just because just like, hey, we worked on it, let's just put it in the game for people to enjoy for the next 6 months before everything gets shut down. And if you guys are wanting to jump in and play this, like you have a bot playlist for whatever reason, if you still want to, 6-player group up against bots, but I mean, why not just play the game itself while you still can, right? Why play against bots? But if you want to warm up, as they kind of phrased it. So it's a really cool addition that they added in here. When it comes to the progression, they actually brought in the prestige system that they've been talking about for the longest time, which is like, again, a little too late, don't you think? Which is kind of funny, but that's where we're at with this game right now at the moment. They talk about different type of like prestige levels you can also have and masteries you can have with different factions and stuff like that, like an actual progression system, which is just like, why wasn't this at launch? It just kind of seems like it's a story of ExDefiant where it was so much that they wanted to do with this game, but either had to push the game out, didn't have the time for it, or just couldn't get it to work for whatever reason. I think it's just like, it's a constant missing of opportune windows for ExDefiant to really jump in. Now they showcase a few new maps in here, which is something that I was like, this is exactly what ExDefiant needed, where it's like maps with character to them. I found a lot of the maps in this game to be kind of just standard urban style maps, nothing really too crazy or unique, but you have maps from Assassin's Creed being put into the game here, and they actually have character. They feel unique and something you can't really find anywhere else in a first-person shooter, which I was like, man, I wish they were able to keep going along with this game again, but like, it's just kind of shows that like, yeah, it's, again, you missed your window, man. You got to come out strong when it comes to the FPS genre because it's so competitive. Now, they didn't talk about anything about when it comes to progression while we're still on this topic about content, but like, we're talking about like the battle passes, didn't really mention anything about that. So we don't really know what's going to happen with the content behind the battle passes. My assumption is that they'll be just kind of like tied in free rewards or something like that. You actually do get to play as like assassins from like Assassin's Creed in the game, not the characters themselves, which I always thought was kind of odd about ExDefiant. I was like, why don't you have all these amazing IPs? Why don't you have me play as Ezio? Why don't you have me play as Sam Fisher or Voss from Far Cry, right? You play these kind of like generic versions of like what these characters kind of look like. I don't know. I don't really get it. I think that would have added to the fun of this game, but it is what it is right there. Another faction being added in with Season 3 are the Wolves and also a Blood Dragon faction. I mean, Blood Dragon expansion for Far Cry 3 was so cool. And like, they just get cut right at the knees like that, ExDefiant. It's just so rough, man. Again, with the Season 3 maps, we have Mykonos, if I pronounced that correctly. You have El Barrio and Jorvik, which is kind of like from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You have some other kind of maps mixed in there as well. And of course, all these other ones like being thrown in, like it's just so much. You're literally getting the kitchen sink when it comes to everything coming with ExDefiant with this season 3 update, which is titled the final update, which is, I mean, again, like, it's so sad, man. Like, it was great. Like, why did you have to take it away from us, man? Come on, Ubi. We also have some new weapons of some assault rifles, an SMG, LMG, a marksman rifle, a new sniper rifle, and a pistol coming in. Of course, there's also, with various bug fixes, some new attachments coming into the game. Mark Rubin even hinted at some unique events that were going to be happening throughout the future seasons that were going to happen, right? Through seasons 3 through 8. One of them being a Rayman takeover with a Rayman map, and also like a season 4 takeover event to kind of get people excited about, like, hey, remember that classic Ubisoft title that they aren't really doing anything with nowadays? Well, that's in the game now. Get some nostalgia going. You can even see in some of the comments for this video on Ubisoft's YouTube channel, which is notoriously known for getting just a ton of dislikes every time they post anything, just because people want to get mad at Ubisoft. An overwhelming positive response on the like to dislike ratio. And some of my people saying, this looks good, WTF, insane, bro. I love these devs, so bring it back. Please don't let the game end and stuff like that. Like, people are genuinely excited about this update and how they think this is so cool, and how they're actually like trying to bring actual characterizations to ExDefiant now to make it feel a little more like a Ubisoft multi-title franchise experience. It's cool. But as some people pointed online, that it might be a little bit more of a nefarious reason why ExDefiant actually was not shot down, even though you're seeing it right here, shut down. And that's really, I think, is that Ubisoft is in a really difficult situation at the moment right now. If you guys are unaware, the stock price is tanking with a lot of really rough releases and people not feeling very confident in the brand of Ubisoft, that they've actually might have been trying to tank the value of the company itself to then have the Guillemot family, the family that runs Ubisoft, the people who are currently the heads and running everything at Ubisoft right now, to then buy back their share of the company at a lower price to then bring it back eventually. And some recent information that came out kind of backs that up. There was the 8-page document that's been going around talking about the current pricing of Ubisoft, and these significant markers right here. You can see that the outliners, like, this is when Tencent bought into Ubisoft. This is when Tencent gave 300 million euro to the Guillemot family for more investments. Tanks the valuation right there, and has gone up a little bit, but again, back down to its lowest point it's been in years. And it seems like they actually are trying to kind of tarnish the value of Ubisoft, so then the people who are currently running can buy it back at a lower value to then be able to build it back up in some kind of way. Which, I mean, if you're the head of the company, you want to own as much as possible, so that kind of makes sense. But you can see right here, they actually apparently did the ExDefiant devs a little dirty right here, saying Mark Rubin was informed of the shutdown only 1 week before the official shutdown announcement, and some developers were not even notified until the day before the official announcement. Like, dude, Mark Rubin went out online saying, like, we have no plans of shutting down, things are going well, even though the rumors were true. But Mark was completely unaware of it. So he's like, if I don't know about it, how do these people online know about it, right? So that kind of falls in line with making it so like he wasn't lying to us at all. He just didn't know that that's what was the plan for Ubisoft, from Ubisoft at the time. And it's crazy that, like, even that they had a higher population than Rainbow Six Siege, as we showed earlier in the video at some points, which is like crazy to think that they would actually do this. But I think it's just, this is the era of just free money just doesn't exist anymore in gaming right now. Because if you guys don't know, like, the big reason why we're seeing so many layoffs is really just because of all the free investment money that was available during the 2020 era, right, with super low interest rates trying to get the economy back up and running. Now we saw these huge boosts in population numbers when it came to just people playing games, and all these high-end executives thought, they're like, oh my god, we're in a gaming gold rush right now, let's just approve everything, and we have such low interest rates, it's basically free money, and if it sucks, we can always just put it in as a write-off, essentially. And now the hen has come to roost, I guess is the phrase to put it. And it seems like, well, we're kind of in that pendulum swing of going from super advantageous investments to now people holding on to their, money bags as much as possible. And ExDefiant just getting a unfair shake to what the current gaming industry is right now at the moment. So in the current era as well, 2023, there's so many live service games being shut down. And ExDefiant was a good game, man. It was fun. I just think it needs a little bit more uniqueness to it. I would love to see like actual characters from these franchises be playable rather than like these kind of more generic versions of what we see in the game, right? Like we don't have Ezio or like Sam Fisher, but we have like characters that look like Ezio and look like Sam Fisher and all these incredible IPs that Ubisoft has. But I mean, again, I'm not the one calling the shots here, but I just find it so odd that like this is how Ubisoft has decided to treat ExDefiant, and this is how it's going down. Again, we don't have a release date when this will go live, guys, but if you want to stay up to date with everything going on with gaming, make sure to tap like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.